Last time we stood where Green Bay began. Forts, a planned town, and mansions on the hill. But cities don't pause at their origin story. This is what happened next. How a frontier map became porches, parks, and everyday life. How lines on paper turned into places people call home. In 1838, Astor and Navarino merged and Green Bay found its footing. By the late 1800s and early 1900s, rail, lumber, and later paper drew families here in waves. Homes stretched beyond the original riverfront core, and parks and schools started doing quiet, reliable work as neighborhood anchors. By the 1910s through the 1930s, the city filled in, built more for families than founders, stitched together by streets, small greens, and the rivers that still guide us. If episode 1 was the spark, this is the glow. Early plans turning into blocks you can walk, greens you can cross, and a map that welcomes you in. Whitney Park. The Whitney Park neighborhood began with a blueprint. Daniel Whitney set aside a common green on purpose. Space for people first, lots second. A school rose nearby in the early 20th century. A century later, those halls live again as lofts. Same walls, new life. Today, it feels like a small neighborhood wrapped around its own front lawn. You step out for coffee, trade a wave with a stroller on the path, and let the dog tug you toward the shade. Mornings become errands you can do on foot. Evenings drift onto porches with the green sitting quietly at the center. Exactly what the plan imagined. What started as a planned commons still works like one. Now with front doors, coffee runs, and neighbors built around it. If you want near downtown living without downtown noise, you pass through once and keep finding reasons to come back. That's the Whitney rhythm. Astor East River. As Astor's hilltop matured in the late 19th and early 20th century, the city stepped down toward the East River, and Astor East River took shape. Craftsman bungalows, foursquares, and simple vernacular homes built by the people who powered Green Bay's growth. Today, the East River Trail threads the edge of these blocks. The streets feel tucked away, even though downtown and the Webster Street corridor sit just a few minutes from your doorstep. On a summer evening, you catch the creak of a porch swing, wheels along the sidewalk, water sliding under the bridge. What were once working-class riverfront blocks are now a trailside pocket of calm. Same bones, softer rhythm. It shares a name, just not the formality. If you want character and quiet, with easy access in either direction, this is a definite yes. Tank Park. On the west side, this neighborhood took its name from a move? In 1908, the Tank Cottage, one of the oldest buildings in Wisconsin, was brought to Union Park. The park took the Tank name, and the story stuck, even after the cottage moved again in the mid-1970s to Heritage Hill. What grew around Tank Park is simple in the best way. A park at its center, approachable houses with backyards and room to breathe. Afternoons look like catching the grass and a grill warming up out back. Evenings feel like folding chairs under a tree and one more lap with the dog. Errands stay easy. Quick loops to the east and west side corridors and the river. A landmark gave the place its name, the park gave it a heartbeat. Joannes Park. Back on the east side, a gift became a backyard. By 1920, land from the Joannes family helped establish Joannes Park along the East River, and civic life gathered around it. Schools, ball fields, and a routine that never really stopped. Mornings bring joggers and coffee on the trail. Afternoons drift into batting practice. By evening, it's bikes, whistles, and 5 more minutes at the playground. The park still works exactly as intended. Something between a meeting place and a living room, just outdoors. What started as a gift of land turned into a gift of habit. Exercise, play, community, folded into the week. If you want Saturday morning energy built into everyday life, this is it. See you tomorrow is a promise, not a plan. Seymour Park. Across the river, the city grew along with nature, not against it. This was once a marshy slough. In 1929, Green Bay established Seymour Park, named it for F.B. Seymour, and by 1936, the dedication put it on the map. Houses arrived over the decades, and a neighborhood grew around the green. What you feel now is stewardship. Neighbors tending to garden beds, kids carving lines on scooters, quick hellos from porch to porch. It's central and approachable, minutes away from most everything you need. And they're still making small upgrades that say, we're investing. The Fox and East Rivers are still our spine. Trails, small rehabs, and thoughtful infill will keep shaping where people land. Parks continue to nudge the map, and neighborhood groups add the next layer. Plantings here, a cleanup there, one more porch light coming on down the block. That's the quiet magic of Green Bay. The history shows up not just in museums, but on your street, on purpose, every day. Which of these neighborhoods caught your eye? Comment below, and let us know which neighborhood we should cover next. I'm Alex Young of the Bowtie Group. Subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next video.